So we are on. Uh, I can see more people have joined, which is amazing. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second episode of In the Mix. This is a weekly talk show hosted by Jamsteady X Topcat CCU, where we'll be talking about music, art, tech, collaborations, the business of music and art, and a lot of other things around that. We'll be featuring musicians, artists, sound engineers, producers, managers, promoters, and other scenesters from around the world. So we are hoping to make it fun, uh, and share knowledge, have great conversations, and pick up interesting topics to talk about. Today's edition is something that I think a lot of us have been uh, trying to work around for the last more than a year now. We're talking about live streaming and if it's the future of live performances. um, and I have very interesting guests on the show today. First up, we have DJ Skip, aka Skipster. He was the world finalist at the DMC DJ Championship, world finalist for at Red Bull Three Style, winner of mostly all the DJ championships in India. He's a turntablist, DJ, producer, a pioneer endorsed artist, submerged artist. I mean, there are so many things. I think I'll need another 15-20 minutes of introduction. So, without further ado, I like to bring DJ Skip. All right. We weren't expecting this.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, hey,
I
Skip.
was just practicing my bass skills. Got a guitarist also here. मेरे को लगा थोड़ा jam कर
Uh-huh.
लेंगे.
So, okay, so we could expect a jam between Rivu and Skip, that means. So,
हाँ वो
let
तो
me
that'll
bring.
be much fun.
Yeah, yeah, of course, of course. Awesome. Let me bring Rivu also so we can start the conversation. Our second guest is Rivu. Rivu is a music composer, producer, arranger, guitarist, keyboardist, educator. He's been a choir conductor. He's produced music for ad jingles for films. He's worked on musical productions for schools as a music director. Um, for me, he's someone who lives inside of the music world, and he has very deep and interesting takes on ideas, and I'm very excited to talk about this particular subject with him along with Skip. So let me bring Revu on screen.
You guys
Hey,
are on screen as
Yo,
well. Hi. One sec.
yay! I
streaming
think
the
Hi.
future, and he's streaming right
Streaming is
now.
the
Like
future. Yeah, yeah.
he's
I'm
streaming
streaming
the
the stream.
stream.
awesome.
That's how meta
He's
I
that
am.
ahead.
I'm heavy meta.
He's
I'm a heavy
Mr.
meta
On
guitar player.
Star Trek.
So nice to see you together, all three. I think we had done this collab early. I think it was
Birthday.
2019.
Yeah.
Yes. So when was that?
19 on my
19.
28th.
Nice.
Yeah, right, right. It was your birthday gig. Yes. So
June.
yeah,
We're gonna
and it
complete.
just happened. Like, yeah, you were saying.
Yeah, it just happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Skip, all whenever he comes to Calcutta, he comes with this load of energy, and then he will be like, "कुछ
Yeah.
करते हैं, ये करना है, वो करना है. We have to do 100 things." Obviously, it's hard to keep up with all his plans, but I'm so
Yeah.
glad we could do at least one of them. We did a few more than one, but yeah. So I am gonna lay down the context for today's thing, because in fact I had shared the thing with some of my musician friends and they were like, "Oh shit! I hope this is." I am gonna lay down the context for. Oh shit! What happened? Thing, because in fact I had shared the. Sorry, hold on.
It's echoing
Somewhere.
my.
They were like, yeah, oh yeah. Shit! Sorry, my bad.
Oh, good.
So what I was saying is I had shared this link with a few musicians, and they're like, "Oh shit! I hope this is not the future." So by the end of the conversation, let's see what we all have to say about this. So, um what I was thinking, since last year, basically, since the lockdown, everyone started basically exploring this whole digital world. For the first few weeks, I think everyone was just shocked what's going on, and then everyone started doing straight up live things on Instagram and Facebook. Then it started going into Zoom and YouTube and closed Facebook groups and Twitch and Mixcloud. I mean, I think the whole universe kind of got explored, and a lot of interesting things came out of it. A lot of things did work, a lot of things didn't work. A lot of the big artists obviously did manage to do some crazy things because always they have those resources, you know. Uh, so it became like the year where even though we were moving digital, it kind of amplified the whole situation, you know. Like I had read somewhere that last year I think Dua Lipa had a digital concert which had 5 million viewers. BTS had an online concert and they sold $19 million worth of tickets. So these are staggering numbers, and obviously these guys are on that league. But the point being, has it opened up new possibilities for artists? Are we now looking at catering to our audiences outside our physical space? You know, I personally feel the future is hybrid. You know, it opens up so many opportunities in term for artists, for labels, for promoters, for venues, for brands to look and find ways to engage with audiences using this digital as well as the physical space. You know, now you have another thing to explore too with. You know, it definitely opens up more avenues. Now, it will work for some, it will not work for some, and those are the things we want to talk about. Also, I think the gaming industry kind of also inspired the
Massively. Yeah.
massively inspired the situation. I was speaking to a gamer last year when we were saying, you know, we want to do these virtual concerts and online thing. She's like, we've been doing this for years. I mean, this is nothing new, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that also, I think the music industry caught on to it. People started creating these virtual uh, photorealistic worlds and having these you know, situations. So, you know, and also um having said all that about digital space, now things are kind of opening, not here but in the US. Things are opening up.
Yeah.
I'm hearing concerts are also starting, pub gigs have started happening. People are roaming about without masks, which is scary to think about
To
right
think about, but yeah,
now.
like some of them have been fully vaccinated, so it is a possibility.
It is
Yeah.
a possibility. So, what are the lessons we can learn from the pandemic, from the lockdown situation, and what should artists do going forward? Is what I want to start with, and I want to open it up for both of you to come in whenever and just jump on the thing, and let's just have a conversation around this.
Sure. I have a couple of things I've been thinking about with regards to like the idea of like live music and streaming. One of them being, I feel like a lot of it is a matter of context in terms of like what kind of music is being performed by the
Right.
performer, what kind of performer the musician is. For instance, like the thing that we don't talk about, I think the big lesson that the pandemic has taught us, like I guess that's a great like question to ask, like for every artist to ask themselves in this moment, is what is the big lesson that you've learned about yourself as an artist and how you interact with the world through your music. Because a part of it is like with say like the gamer world, a huge part of that is people aren't necessarily following gamers for like how well they play a game all the time. A lot
Right.
of gamers who are being followed because they're interesting personalities. I'm not suggesting that all musicians or anyone who's doing any sort of art form on stream should always have to have a great personality. There's like there's a range of possibilities. There's like people who follow speedrunners in the gaming community, meaning people who can just like break through a game and finish a game that would take like 100 hours or something to complete in like 6 minutes, and that's a real community that exists. Who
Right.
people who actively try to break games. And then there's people who are playing games. They don't play it very well. They play it kind of poorly, but they're so steeped in the knowledge of like the world of like those games. For instance, I'm just using the gaming reference
Yeah,
because
yeah,
this is like a rich world of streaming that has existed for over a decade at this point.
yeah.
Like, because there's such interesting personalities who know, like, who really know their shit about gaming, and also, are just funny, are great at making humor work, like just popping off on, like, improv on the spot. Like Game Grumps being an excellent example, PewDiePie being a complicated example.
Mhm.
When you watch these people, you're watching them for multiple reasons apart from just the fact that they can game really well. It's a complicated network of things. But that is the kind of question that I've found myself asking myself about, like, how do I interact with, how does my music work? Like, what is the thing that my music does? Because there is music that is like personality driven to a certain degree, where, say, like, it's one person who sings, who has like really well written lyrics, who has an excellent personality on camera and can talk and improvise and like have interesting conversations for like a long time. Neil Adhikari being one excellent example. He's an excellent like personality on stage.
Yeah,
If he did live streams, it would work wonders because people would want to be in conversation, would want to, be his friend, would want to like get into a conversation with him in a live stream scenario. However, let's say, this is not, it's, in fact, it's not even meant, it's not meant to be like a burn to, like, say, the more athletic music community at all. In fact, quite the opposite. It's like when someone is, say, an avant-garde jazz musician or like a progressive rock musician, me. That's not necessarily what the music is about. The music really is about the sweat of like playing the stuff. Like when you go to a jazz concert, like when you go to like a Skinny Moose and you're like watching an excellent jazz concert, or you're like taking it all in. One of the things you're taking in is the fact that you're in the room with these people who are interacting, and it's that interaction of these people. It's the bouncing off of musical ideas between them and the effort that they put in.
right.
That you're really like, that's the thing you're absorbing in that moment. And how well does that work on a live stream? Is that what you're going for? There's a lot of these questions that are being asked in
Right.
this moment by artists, at least by me, to myself, about like what are those boxes that you can tick off about your own work, and how would that work in a streaming scenario?
Yeah,
I guess that's like question one that's probably being
agreed.
asked, to figure out like what is my deal.
Yeah,
And this, in any case, even before the pandemic, has been part of, like, I guess, every artist's thing to consider. Like, you were just reading my thing off the website, and I just realized how boring it sounds. Like, how absolutely brilliantly boring my
it's
like
also the
blurb.
way I say it.
No. It isn't. It genuinely isn't. I just I just thought, I was like, wait, that's like absolutely the worst. I have to go back to my website and rewrite my about page. But the point is, the way you present yourself as an artist, like, is as important as the work you do. Like, we are now
Absolutely.
creative entrepreneurs in this
Yeah.
world where streaming is the way monetization works. You have to like sell yourself as just more than just working on the music, and that's like something that a lot of people need to wrap their heads around. Me, prime example. And yeah, like, figuring out who you are and how does that interact with the audience. And once you can, it's an evolving answer, obviously, but
It is.
the,
Yeah,
the closer you can get to that answer, the easier it becomes to figure out what your stream, if you're doing a live stream, if that's something you should do, and if you do it, how would you do it, how would you present it? That's the kind of thing you want to like ask yourself to begin with, I guess, if that makes sense.
it does. It does. Skip, what do you have to say? In fact, like I've seen some streams on Twitch, and like this one guy with a guitar, and so many people are engaged. He's keeping so many people engaged with just
Yeah.
like such a simple setup because of he's figured out how to keep people engaged on
Yeah.
the stream. So it definitely is. I mean, different things are working for different people. But yeah, Skip, what do you have to say? Add to this.
So basically, I feel that I think I'm from a DJ's perspective, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
for us, very important, obviously, because you're playing with technology, right? And I have been doing this for a long time, even before the whole pandemic thing. I was always good with tech, you can say. I've I've been stream. I've done shows for Supersonic, World Music for VH1. All these shows where where not really physical shows, but all these online shows, and they've been happening for industry
Yeah.
also. It's just that with pandemic, it just became more
It's
relevant or
amplified a lot.
more, yeah, a lot different level altogether. But then it's not everybody's cup of tea. That's also it's fact. You cannot
Yeah.
one day all of a sudden a guy who's super confident in someone who can crack judge at anyone or whatever. You cannot just. That's not you. That's not your personality. So don't try it. It camera basically amplifies everything 10 times more, right? That's a fact, and I've faced it like straight up. And maybe for me, maybe it comes because of the whole reality and all that stuff that I've already faced camera so many times that I'm not a shy guy anymore like that. Although I basically the idea is even if you mess up, it's how you correct that in a camera that's what matters. You should, and the best being originally knows you've messed up. So I guess plus for all the musicians, but for DJ kind of because if you go off beat, you can easily tell because you're playing a rhythm continuously, right? So what I do is I up with like echoes and also that even if I go off, it doesn't show, but that's different. But
it's interesting you say this because firstly you don't, because whenever we've seen a stream, I've performed with you. Firstly, you don't, but secondly, if you do, it's kind of on brand because you're DJ Skip. Maybe a beat skips. Fine, it's okay.
So I have learned that it's okay, mistake. So if you thought that should not it's not important. I'll tell you one basic thing. Okay, a lot of people not really understand that दुनिया खत्म नहीं हुई है, right? It's not that this thing is not gonna get over. You can go through it. The work is gonna come back again and come back way bigger than what you expect, right? But having said that,
people haven't been to go ahead.
All the big players, nothing to lose. They're gonna stay. If I'm a A-level DJ, I can't get the work. It's all the younger generation who's, dude, how do I be relevant in the scene, blah, 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 whatever. At least in DJing, I would say there had been no superstars for some time, At least, and I can see a lot of people coming up, but they all are like, I think, too hard to be cool.
You mean in India?
In India, like the whole stream, because you see a lot of, and the biggest problem is that in India we have this sort of, we'll work with cracked softwares, and that kind of translates to mic. We'll just put a phone in the speaker, it'll work for us. That's like it's all
interesting.
It's the whole idea of chalta hai, public ko samajh to aa raha hai na, and then that just translates to just quality all over getting.
There should be a limit there should be a limit to jugaad culture. Like there's a point up till which it's cool. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So my first, which is basically all of us who are, dude, at the end of the day, if you are thinking that you will make money of something, you have to put in money in that as well, right? That's the idea. That we'll basically cover later on, that you can buy, and these are super cheap sound cards. They are some 3,000, 4,000 rupees, and that'll make so much. So that way, so a lot of people not able to invest. First of all, second is it's not important to show your face. That's also one thing. If you are like, if you see my live, I don't show my face that much. It's my console that is on the showing off my skills, and it's how you work with your audience, right? Like, want to show your face, you'll show your face, and in skills, you don't really have to show your face. So there are other ways. So I'm just saying that a lot of people don't do stuff that comes natural to them, and a lot of people don't know what's coming natural to them because to follow their icons, they're trying to follow people who are doing really well. They're like, why am I not able to do what he can do? They're not understanding that they can do something totally different with cooler than the person that they're looking at. That's
Yeah.
also something that I feel a lot of people should consider. So point
Yeah.
is, pandemic is definitely going to get over. Maybe there'll be a new normal. Live gigs will come back. There's no denying that, right? Lives will come back.
People have missed it. Like, people have
Yeah,
missed it
that's
for
it.
all this time. They will
Yeah,
want it. Like, it's
yeah,
simple.
they will want it.
Yeah.
And but having said that, there are a lot of people who have made a good following in like, for example, Rivu has done your live streams. You've made a good following. You definitely have made people listen to you, which you would not be able to in general. You must have gathered a
Yeah, for
larger
sure. Yeah,
audience,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, there
Now
is a
the
slightly larger audience through things. Yeah.
so now the I think the challenge for you or me also would be how to translate those audience to come to your live gigs, because that is where you will earn the money from. In sort of,
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, yeah.
There's a new challenge that is for us, which is
There's
we have
that's yeah.
now.
No, keep going. Yeah.
Should we keep doing it? Should we stop it? Obviously, when the gigs come, this free time that we have will also go away. So to strike the right balance is the thing that we should be. The problem that is coming to us, it's not that,
Yeah.
that there's going to be a huge boom, but will that convert into something? Will that convert into another situation where we are like, dude, now what do I do? Because I've
But
had so much,
yeah,
I've made so much audience. Say I increased on my whatever, and how do I translate them to real people? Because I'm still, if for he will still be playing to whatever 10, 20 people, 50 people. All those 2,000 people will not be coming to his thing unless they are. So I always tell people to start marketing yourself regional wise or whatever. So basically, understand who you are catering to and a plan.
but
Like
but
later on,
just
what are you going to do with that?
but just to cut you there, Skip, on this point that you're saying that the followers that you built over your live streams, you want them to come for your physical gigs, which is great. I
Gigs?
mean,
Yeah,
it'll be
yeah.
great.
That should
But
be the plan.
what about the people who are from different parts of they're
So
not located here? So
yeah,
I
yeah.
think I feel that obviously it depends from art form to art form also, but I feel going forward having a live stream plan as a constant, it doesn't have to be for all the gigs, but say you're doing 10 gigs a month, you could be like, say, out of this 4 I will also live stream from
Yeah.
wherever I'm playing, you know,
No,
and
I'm not.
maybe
I'm not
it
that.
will connect to my audience in other parts
So
of the
that's a different set of
world.
audience altogether. So that's a different
Yes,
set of
exactly.
audience altogether. So you have to, the end of the day, the idea I'm saying is to have a plan as per what you're doing. So don't be a lot of people who are just doing live streams. There's no, yeah, I'm doing it because everybody is doing it. You
Hmm.
know.
Of course.
So what's your main thing? By the way, today is World Gin Day. I am drinking water in my gin bottle, but yeah, please have
That's
gin.
water in your gin bottle. That's okay.
That's how
Packaged.
I celebrate the gin day. But yeah,
That
Uh,
sounds like that sounds like an album, right? Like, waiting to be made. Water in a gin bottle.
it's a song coming out soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, man,
so yeah,
that's what I
yeah.
would say.
I totally
Yeah.
agree about, like, the idea of, like, having a plan, like, very much.
And
The
bro,
the,
start
the
now. You understand that you can always
Yeah,
start.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think the tricky thing for a lot of people is to, like, figure out what it is, like, what their scene is. What is the thing that they, how do they bring value to, like, an audience, whatever that audience is. If it's like a broader audience, if it's a regional audience,
So
what how do you bring value to, like, yeah, go ahead.
I have been doing a bit about this thing because I started making beats for sale, and basically led me to. I was thinking, uh, how do I go? My friend and me, like, let's just doing something. He also obviously has hit everybody hard, and it's the second year. It's like, if we have gone, kudos to us. Like, at least to me, I'm जो things थी सब खत्म हो चुकी है. Now it's like, now we're like, okay, let's work. So
Yeah.
I can make music. The first thing that comes to our my mind is, let's just make music. Maybe that will make us money. I have made music, like I've made beats. So we tried a beat a day, but we ended up having 30 beats in 20. So we still had 10 days to spare. I was like, let's just, now we have the that we want to do. Now let's just market it. And with marketing, so many things. So the first thing that I mind was the whole plan idea. Okay, what do I do with this? I have the product. I have put it on the market, but marketplace, when nobody is buying because there are already so many sellers. And it's such a weird thing that there are so many, like the messages that I'm getting are from producers. Do you know, like there is this community? I don't know if you, Rivu, if you have ever sold to any of these forums.
No, not yet.
It's so weird, right? You go there from everybody else, bro, please, my thing, and whatever.
Oh, bro,
and
yeah. No, that's a real thing that happens in any case. Like even on say Instagram. Very simple.
You're not catering to any of the clients. So you're not really people who want to buy your beats. People who want to sell beats.
Yeah.
So like that.
Yeah. You will only, this marketplace is just full, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And then producers they're just talking back and forth with everyone.
So the supply demand thing is all over the place.
It's on supply.
It's
right
like,
now, the only supply.
Only supply.
The demand is so. But the problem, again, I feel technology boon and a curse at the same time, right? With technology and having tutorials online, everybody can be a beat producer right now, like anybody, because first of all, you can create. Rivu would agree to me. It's super easy to come up with a track. I'll tell you from personal experience. I met a guy, he wanted to learn music making, right? And he already had an album out on Apple Music, bro. No, I'm very serious. It was a
it's real.
album.
No, I'm laughing because this has happened. I know these people.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like, how do you have this album out? And he's got like a decent amount of plays also.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I just Googled it and this. I had to spend a certain amount of money and I was able to do it. I said, cool, man, this is cool. I should be learning better than you learning from me.
Yeah.
And I do that only. So yeah, he gave me his 2 cents and then I didn't teach him. But the idea was everybody can be a producer. And they say, since we're talking about live streaming, so it's kind of the same concept. Everybody can live stream. Who does it better matters the most. And also, there are a lot of people lose hope in these times, saying that I have been doing this, right? I personally feel that everybody is watching.
I want to talk about that for a second. Yeah.
I personally feel that everybody is watching, bro. You'll be surprised to see the amount of people that are watching you. It's just that people are not telling because whatever you're doing has not struck a chord for them. You'll be surprised that one day you meet people who have every stream and they might make you work.
That is the truth.
Yeah.
I feel like one of the things about that is just generally, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna like broaden this topic for a second.
Yeah.
And suggest that one of the reasons we're talking about like
this one's gonna be a long stream.
Yeah, it's gonna get. We're gonna get
a lot.
Bro.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna get deep. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share. Okay, so first thing, remember how to say that quickly. Okay, no. So no, I feel like the main reason why we're having this conversation at all is because a lot of people who, well, yeah, of course, we are talking about like moving towards hopefully a world where we can think about streaming and live performances at the same time as like
streaming as a potential money.
As a potential, exactly. That's kind of the thing. Yeah. The main question, I think, the more core question here is how do I monetize my work, essentially, and that is becoming a more and more complicated question on the daily because of just the way technology works, because of the fact that there's just people sitting in, I've made like posts about this, like because of the fact that there's people sitting in Silicon Valley deciding what the next app should be and how that app should have a format, and then like it's completely arbitrary. Like the fact that Instagram Reels is 30 seconds, Instagram video is like 1 minute. If you want to promote it, if you want to make an IGTV video, it can be as long as whatever. YouTube is a separate thing. Everything has like exactly. So everything has like arbitrary like numbers to it. which someone came up with, which didn't exist pre-internet.
But
is
that
my
was
point. Like,
it's after a lot of research, man. You have to understand that also. So
I completely
there also,
agree. Look.
yeah,
Whether like it's from research, I agree.
yeah,
However, music is an art form, and art
it's
essentially can
subjective.
break. It's subjective, and the fact
Yeah,
that it can break format is a huge deal. It should be allowed to
dude,
break format. Is my point, right?
I am breaking formats only. If you like a DJ playing on an Instagram live, it was not
Correct. No,
meant.
that it wasn't meant to be that. Frankly, like
Yeah,
playing guitar, progressive rock, synthwave,
yeah,
whatever
yeah.
music I do through like an Instagram thing, like through all my shit, and then sending it out as a mono out through a splitter into my phone is I don't know, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. The thing is, the format is not on your side necessarily all the time. The fact that you won't make money out
We
of
should
like the number of
talk
streams,
about that though.
yeah, we should
Yeah,
totally talk about it.
we'll talk about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Nishit, please keep in mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
The fact that like the format generally is not always on our side. Like it doesn't mean that most of our music will not fit in the format, but like a lot of the time, the fact that there's that weird restriction about it feels a little weird. The truth of right now, the biggest like I guess truth as a musician right now or as an artist in general is not to I guess if you're in the chat and you're like just getting into this and wanting to like understand how to make money off stuff, I think the big thing is to not, and I know you've probably heard this before, but not put all your eggs in one basket. By that I don't mean stop making music by like at all. In fact, I'm saying make more music. um in fact, make music in multiple scenarios, like make music for like multiple things in multiple ways. For instance, if you're wanting to just live off the idea of making music and albums, that's not going to happen. If you're wanting to make music and just do live gigs all the time and maybe live streams, I don't know, I'm not sure about that. Like if that's the only thing, I don't know how much it's really going to like serve you, because the market is shifting because of the fact that people can just sit on their phones, after a day's work. Instead of going to a pub, they can just go home and sit on their phone, scroll through Instagram forever and be entertained. It'll suck eventually and they'll eventually go to therapy, but they are doing that, and it is serving the purpose of that.
Yeah.
What do you do? Like how do you like figuring out how to make money in that scenario?
Yeah.
One, like for instance, I'll just give you like, I'm not saying this is the only way that it works, but I'm giving you like one perspective because I live it. um even before the pandemic, even while live music was happening, I was playing some live gigs with various people. I was making my own music, putting out albums. I was working with schools, doing choir conduction, working with like kids, working with getting like teaching them how to sing, making tracks for them. I'm making music for ads, making music for films. The big thing that you need to learn how to be, more than just be talented or like working hard, is being reliable. Like be as reliable as you can be. Like just make sure that you're making stuff like and delivering things on time. Try and put your foot in the door. Ask people questions who are in the industry, in various industries. Ask people questions about what they do, how they do it, how to start. Maybe they'll if they're too busy, maybe they'll send you like a job at some point. Ask me. If I'm too busy, I'll send you something in case somebody asks at some point. And just put your foot in the door of everything. Try everything. Try everything. Keep trying stuff, and at some point you'll realize, oh wait, there's a monetization system here. There is a monetary value in this work. Another thing that I'm just starting to explore right now is because one of the things I really want to do with my life is make music for video games, because I'm very passionate about video games, and I love like music and video games. And I've been exploring the world of like music and video games, and one of the things I've learned is, much like Skip was saying, this thing of selling beats. There is a system. There are these specific websites online where, say, a small indie developer, video game developer, is just making their first game coming out of college, and they have a small team and they're working on something. They can't pay you like a shit ton of money to make music for their whole game, like custom make music for their whole game. But what you can do is you can make these music packs, like figure out genre. Exactly. So figure out what genre of music, figure out what genre of game it is. Is it a fantasy RPG? Is it like a sci-fi something? Is it cyberpunk? Is it shooter with fight? Whatever. Figure out what that world is. Figure out like various blocks of worlds and compose music for that kind of game, like various different levels, and just create like a lot of music, and then put these packs up online and sell them. And sell them for like whatever, $10, $20, whatever that format is. And by doing that, you have passive income happening. Teach music. If you know your shit well, teach. Teach to whoever realistically you can teach well. That's another system of monetization. All of these are like ways that you can like just have your eggs in multiple baskets instead of being like, I will only do live music and therefore I
Yeah,
must learn how to stream. If
yeah,
you
that's
want
a
to stream, you know what I mean? So like
yeah.
the core question here really is like monetization.
Yes,
Um,
exactly.
if that
I
is
agree
yeah.
totally with you on this. Like, when we are that the topic is saying is streaming the future of live performance. I think it's more about being present online. One, obviously, we are going. I mean, the physical aspect is there. I mean, that is part of our what actually drives us to do. Getting that feeling of playing for a crowd and that energy. But having these multiple streams is like how Rivu said is, I think, even for me, like I've been even while doing events as a thing, I was doing multiple things within that,
Yeah,
like
that's
promote
exactly
a
it. Yeah.
brand and bring in another thing element from there,
And
release something, so different things were happening.
I feel one really quick little thing. A lot of us, because music education, like the world of music education, when I say that, I mean like collegiate education, like going to a university for it, is an expensive thing. So a lot of people don't have that. There's a lot of stuff that you just don't learn or don't assume that is important to think about. We just think, okay, we make music, that's it. No, it's really important to compartmentalize in your mind what part of, like, what are the different things you do. Like for me, I make music. I have my albums. I make my own solo music. I produce music for some people sometimes. I make music for ads. I make music for television, for films, for and all of these things. I look at them as different work. They're all
Yeah.
different, even though I'm still making music, even though the craft is still the same. Some of it, it's always a balance between art and service, and you have to be able to see that and not be bogged down by the fact that a lot of it is going to be service. uh, because it will, because a lot of the stuff that makes you money, unfortunately, is just service, and that's fine. There is art in it, but it is a separate thing. um, and thinking about that even like just changes your perspective on how live music and streaming works, because of the way you start thinking about what does your work mean to people,
Yeah.
was the original conversation that I was bringing up.
Also,
Anyway,
I think that streaming. Another interesting thing with streaming is you can use it. Not You don't have to stream for always uh, performing as a
oh
gig
yeah,
and as a ticketed thing, but you can use it as a tool to promote yourself for the services that you're doing. Like
yeah,
if Rivu is doing 10 things, you could use the streaming as how we're doing this chat,
like
and
just like how I use this like conversation stream to plug all of the stuff that I do. Now
exactly.
that if there's potential clients in the chat, they can now contact me.
Exactly,
Simple.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's what interesting, and the common thing between the here three of us, and especially with the two of you, Skip also does many things. Like I've had like we had worked on some gigs and a release. So if I would tell him ki we have to make a video out of it. No problem. I'll make the video and send it to you. So
Mhm.
he's that kind of a guy. He's like, let's just do it.
Yeah,
He and so he has his own audiovisual show. He has his straight up like a DJ set. He has his electronica outfit. He has his teaching thing. He has his workshops that keep going on. So same thing with
yeah,
so many things and all interconnected.
yeah, yeah.
Skip.
I am just exploiting my art form, man. That's it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Push it to the max and see what sticks.
Yeah, and on the way, I try to learn more stuff. So my idea is to keep growing. Yeah, like for example, this one small I don't know, it's a short 1 minute thingy that I did with a friend, and he like it was a small interview, and I always say that if I am better than I want to be better than what I was yesterday, and
Yeah,
you can only do that by learning more stuff. Like nowadays, I am After Effects and stuff like that, so that's me actually,
yeah. Well,
and I am actually earning from that also.
Mm.
So and I think that is because the contact from DJing. So it's
Right.
like just to be a little more uh, entrepreneurial, whatever.
Absolutely.
I don't have that element in me at all, but I'm just trying to bring out that person. He calm कैसा रहेगा? You know.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's the thing that I'm kind of, and I know for a fact that after some time all these take a back seat, but when everything gets better, these things are going to help me, because I've understood that if you learn one art form, you're able to express better to the person who's making it. Like for example, now I'll be able to express my idea to someone else who's making a video properly. You know, if someone else speaks to
Yeah,
me
yeah,
in
yeah.
like the
Completely
whole
agreed. Yeah.
speaks to me in that whole video language where like the green screen has to have certain amount of tint, ये होना चाहिए, वो होना चाहिए, the lighting has to be this, whatever, tungsten fluorescent and all that bullshit, the Kelvin and all that
You need to have
stuff.
a
I didn't know
keynote
all
flow
that.
above you. It'll be
Yeah,
a 53K. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, sure.
whatever. Yeah, that all now makes sense to me. Initially, they were like, "Yeah, cool." I literally thought that making a video is not that a big deal. It's a huge amount of work, man.
Oh, it's a huge amount.
It is a lot of work.
I'll just very quickly bring up something here. For anybody who's looking, who's interested in like someone who knows all of their entire craft and knows how to present it brilliantly, like I highly recommend you watch. But even if you're not interested in that, just watch. Go to Netflix and watch Inside by Bo Burnham. It's one of the greatest works of art online right now.
There is,
Because
yeah, please.
No, yeah. So Bo Burnham, basically, he's a musician. He started working. He's like a parody musician. That's how he started his life. In like 2007, he was like one of the earliest in YouTube on YouTube. Like he was at the beginning of YouTube. Um, and he became like the stand-up comedian, and he went and made a film called Eighth Grade, which is incredible. But check out Inside, because Inside is a comedy special. I'm gonna put that within quotes because it's much more than that. But it's a comedy special that was made entirely in a room by him, shot by him, lit by him, and it's freaky how amazing it is. At some moments, it's unbelievable. Just like how much he's breaking all formats of music, of light design, of camera work. It's unbelievable the kind of work he's managed to do, just because he's having to think about all of it at once as one package instead of
Right.
like outsourcing to other people. But it took 1 year of his life, and he's getting more and more depressed through this process, and that's kind of part of the show. But please watch it, because it's such a like masterclass of how to be an everything.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, of
Yeah.
course it's
Well,
difficult.
having said that, it's okay to not be good at.
Oh no, for
also.
sure. It's
Yeah,
completely.
yeah.
By the way, real quick, I kind of want to make a little PSA for everybody in the chat, in case anybody is worried about this, because this is a real thing that happens with like Zoom calls and like these conversations that people have, where everyone's like, "Be productive, learn everything. You have to do." No,
Yeah.
chill. It's okay. If you have the energy to do something, do it. If you have the energy to like learn one thing a day, that's all you need. If you don't, you
Yeah,
want to go to sleep, go to sleep. It's fine. Don't feel bad about not being like super productive all the time, because that's a really like toxic
Agreed.
conversation.
Yeah.
don't
What
underestimate
this
the power of compounding here. So
Agreed. And don't underestimate the power of like just taking a
break.
nap, but taking a break entirely. Because very frankly, taking a break is going to give you like ideas. And not to even say that taking a break is about being productive. Like taking a break is just about taking a break. But
Taking
if
a
you need to take a break, take a break. Like none of this conversation applies to you if you're not in the mindset to do a lot of work right now. That's
To be
totally chill. Because
productive. Yeah.
to be productive. Because very frankly, this okay. Breaking out of this topic for a second, this last year has been a historical year that the world has never seen. The Spanish flu was once upon a time, like before it even began in 2019, people were like, the Spanish flu is the worst flu that's ever happened, like the worst pandemic that's ever happened. Like an entire an entire continent was locked down. The whole world was on lockdown. None of us, no
Yeah.
one was ready for any of this. Like nobody was ready for anything that happened. So it's totally chill if you want to take a break. It's totally chill if none of this applies to you. It's totally chill if being productive is not what you want to do. It's cool. No one's going to like. It's genuinely cool. What we're
I'm gonna take a
what we
few.
are suggesting is,
Sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
No,
I
go
was,
ahead.
I
Go
was going to
ahead.
finish up. Yeah, so like what we're just suggesting is if you want to start trying stuff, it's good to expand your horizons, learn new techniques, put them into your work, start learning things about lighting. Like for instance, right now my room would look really sucky if it wasn't for just some interesting lights. Just knowing that I need a ring light and a fun smart light, another smart light, I just bought them. They weren't very expensive, and now it kind of looks a little interesting. I
Yeah.
got OBS, which is a free software, which allows me to have funny floral things floating around me.
Yeah.
It's like it took me it took me a few days to get to the point where I was like for like the longest time, and then one day I was like, oh wait, maybe I can get OBS. Cool, I'll get
Yeah.
OBS. Wait, like it's cool to just wait and like let things happen in their own time. You don't have to do all of this in one day. We're just talking about all of those things that have happened for us over like the year and condensed in this one conversation. Just chill.
Absolutely.
In case
That's so true.
in case anybody's in the chat who's like, oh,
No, this is
don't
what
be
happens with all these, like you were saying, productive videos, no, where people just go bam, 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 and they show
yeah, you gotta
that
be
just
productive, bro.
yeah,
You
in
have to
5 minutes
work hard.
they are
Yeah.
giving you a life lesson for your entire life, So it's not gonna happen. You can slow it down. You can
you're,
pace it up,
you're
pace it
going
out.
through like you're going through ads and stuff on whatever through Instagram, and suddenly this random person shows up and says like, whatever you've been doing it wrong. This is how you really do it.
Yeah,
Subscribe to my book, whatever. Fuck
yeah.
off. Just chill. Just take your time.
Or I
Do
can
your
teach
thing.
you how to make so much money in such a short time.
Oh yeah.
Please don't fall for that kind of shit.
That's a huge meme for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
5 billion something own a Tesla something whatever.
So I'm gonna take a few. Bring Ishan is saying the format needn't be off the shelf as such. Why limit oneself to IG, YouTube,
Oh,
etc.
completely
Yeah,
agreed. Yeah. The only reason I think I brought it up was the only reason we brought it up was because that's kind of the place where most audiences go. Like YouTube,
yeah.
people go to YouTube to watch stuff. People go to like people scroll through Instagram, and that's like your chance to like get noticed suddenly, or like
Twitch
an
is
Instagram
Twitch
reel.
is great, but getting following
There,
there is hard.
very frankly, there is no like like the India Twitch scene isn't amazing. Like there are people from India who go to Twitch, but they really go to like follow like people from the Europes and the Western countries, etc. The place really where streaming happens in India, unfortunately, is really very much limited to Facebook and Instagram. That's just where audiences go.
Yeah.
That's just base like statistics kind of thing that we've seen. Like you have massive followers of like music and stuff on Twitch, but India doesn't have a scene
Doesn't
for
have a
Twitch
scene.
really. And one of the reasons being that like one of the big reasons for that actually is that Twitch is an Amazon product, and we've had this conversation. I've had this conversation with like a lot of gamers before this, like because I play with a lot of people. Twitch is an Amazon product, and Twitch has like a Prime gaming situation. Like under Amazon Prime, there's multiple like tiers. Here we just have Amazon Prime, means your delivery person will send it to you the next day, maybe
Yeah.
if you're lucky, and it also means you can watch videos on Prime
Right.
Video. But in the Western countries where Amazon is a slightly bigger deal, it means there's multiple like tiers to it. One of them is Prime Video. One of them is Prime Video plus Prime Music. One of them is Prime Video plus Prime Music plus Prime Gaming, which gives you like access to like a lot of games that you can stream on like a Game Pass type basis. And with Twitch Prime, you can monetize your work using Twitch Prime. Like people will use Twitch Prime to give you a subscription or something ridiculous like that. There's lots of like these sub things that exist within Twitch, which are not like India friendly yet, because people don't use the same kind of monetization setups, basically. So like Twitch doesn't quite work. YouTube, etc.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry, this is weird tangent.
I'm going to bring a few more comments. One is from Amir, who is also a great singer-songwriter. Don't sleep at 4 a.m. That's not healthy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this is definitely a message we can put out that do
For
not.
sure. Yeah. Please get
But-
some sleep, guys.
but
Get some sleep.
yeah.
At least 6 hours. Try to.
But this, I think, there is a changing pattern of people staying up, which is happening a lot now. A lot.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
also, especially lockdown, the whole time kind of has been skewed. So you don't have like a duty time and this time and that time. So
Yeah, it's
But
like
I
being
think
on the international
after
space station.
lockdown, at least my habits have become better only.
better, yeah.
Yeah.
Same for me also.
Yeah,
It's
I
been
sleep on time.
different for
I
different people.
wake up on time. I wake up at like 7 or 6. So 7, 6, 8, whatever.
Yeah, because
3 hours. Yeah.
Kip sends his morning stream at what 30:10.
When I wake up.
Yeah. So
So you
I'll
sleep according to
get-
your morning sleep. Nice.
No, my
Yeah,
night
I'll-
stream finishes at around 10ish. So
so
Right.
night
10, 11
you
मैं
get
सोने से
a
पहले एक stream,
WhatsApp.
जागने के बाद एक stream.
There you go. That's
using
a
your
lesson
streams
from,
to using your streams to to schedule your sleep. I love it.
Yeah.
Using
And
your streams to schedule your sleep. A book by what's his name? Anyhow.
there, Ali Margoob is here. He's saying
Oh yeah, that's a big question. Good stuff.
nowadays everyone is an
Margot is asking the
investment.
real questions. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't. Somehow I still don't want to do this crypto thingy. I just want
Uh-huh.
to be in a regular way, and
Hmm.
whatever's gonna come to me, जैसे आ जाएगा आ जाएगा.
Yeah.
I don't have to really. I believe
There's
The
no.
working, money will come out.
the interesting conversation with crypto is the NFT world, like the
Yeah,
Yeah.
non-fungible
that's something
tokens.
I wanna be. That is something that I really wanna explore.
So we have a show coming up where we're getting Wazirex. They've recently launched their NFT
Yeah.
platform, so
Yeah,
they'll be
yeah.
coming on the show and spreading some knowledge. So that thing that'll be interesting. We have that end of this month, so watch out for that. But
That's cool.
NFTs are interesting for sure. I mean,
NFTs
I'm
are
NFT is definitely interesting. Yeah.
yeah,
it uses the same logic as crypto. Like it just uses like whatever work you're putting out is being what's it like encrypted using blockchain so that it can never be replicated. Like it's always the one thing. So there's always an original.
yeah,
Unlike everything else where you can just copy paste, and like who knows what the original is anymore because of like the metadata. But
that's right.
crypto ensures that there's one original and therefore the value of it goes up.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, Bitcoin mining is a ridiculous uses up a ridiculous amount of fossil fuels, and
yeah,
it's really adding to greenhouse effect in the world.
yeah,
Where do you go with this conversation after
yeah,
that?
yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know what you're
So we'll keep.
talking about, so that's good. Let's not talk about
Yeah,
it.
What?
No, I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking. Let's not talk about it only.
Yeah. Okay.
But Ali really wants to talk about it.
yeah. Ali's putting another message. I should quickly bring it up, even though we're not keep making this as a crypto chat, but
This is not a crypto chat. Let's not make this a
yeah,
crypto chat.
yeah,
We're not qualified to make this a crypto chat.
yeah.
Yeah, not at all.
So
For
I want
sure.
to know, like for for artists of various types, can be DJs, singer songwriters. I know it's difficult for drummers, but what kind of basic setups can you have at home which you can use for streaming? And like we were discussing, streaming always does not have to be about playing music and creating a gig and all that. It can be various things. So
Yeah.
what kind of a setup, minimal setup, can you start with? And it'll be different. I mean, it'd be nice to get Rivu's point of view as a musician who plays guitar and sings, and Skip who's DJing on the stream.
I feel like
You can start with
no,
the
go ahead.
reviews first.
Okay. Because I was gonna go through like a kind of a listish kind of thing of it depends on context of like what you do. And how many sources of audio you need. For instance, if you're a singer songwriter and you're like playing acoustic guitar slash ukulele slash whatever,
Acoustic,
and singing
basically.
songs. Let's say if you're playing acoustic instruments, one acoustic instrument and a voice. Most often you can get away with say like a USB microphone, like a Blue Yeti. I'm not a Blue I'm not a Blue endorsee, but like a Blue Yeti or something of that nature.
There's an Econ also. There's a cheaper version of that, which is available in Pro Musicals. There's an Econ. That's pretty nice.
Yeah. So have a look at like all the USB microphones that are available to you, and like look for
They-
the good ones. Check out some
Yeah.
reviews on
It costs around 9 to
Podcaster.
10,000 rupees. That's a good range.
So there you
to
go.
start off.
That's a
Yeah.
pretty like decent like price range, and that's the kind of price range you want to like keep in mind to begin with when you're like
Yeah.
looking for like stuff to begin with.
For podcasts
Um,
also, bro. For any kind of
podcasts.
podcast also, yeah.
For any scenario where you want to talk to people, where you want like
No.
the audio in your room in any way to be played through, one USB microphone is great. However, let's say if you have a few more sources, for instance, with me, I'm saying I have my guitar going through, and I want them as separate inputs. I in any case, just because of my work, I have a Focusrite 18i8, which has a lot of inputs, but basically I get two inputs.
This is the
at least.
rack mount.
This is
card.
not the rack mount. This is the table, but it's like a big fat
Okay.
tank
Yeah.
chonk, the chonky boy. So it's like it's got 18 inputs, 18 virtual whatever. The point is, it's got more than one input. Focusrite makes a bunch of things. PreSonus makes a bunch of things. Have a look at everything. See what prices work for you. Look at the reviews. Get yourself an external audio interface because you're going to need it if you have multiple like inputs. for instance, electric guitar plus vocals plus your DAW audio or like audio from your computer, you're going to need one software which is probably useful, OBS or OBS Streamlabs. Great, extremely useful because it allows you to do a lot of interesting work with like video, for instance, funny stuff or other funny stuff. Hold on. Wait, my screen went into something else. Yeah, other funny stuff. For instance, when I'm doing my classes, I have my notes on that side, Captain Haddock there for no reason, and my name up there. Okay, I'm back. So, and you can do some fun things with like the kind of framing and stuff, as well as the audio, because it'll allow you to like get control over your mixes under, in the OBS setup. So getting OBS is quite useful for that sort of thing. If you get OBS Streamlabs, you even get to see what what comments are coming to you in real time, which is probably a useful thing as well. So yeah, like getting a software like OBS, getting yourself
OBS Streamlabs, what platform?
for PC and Mac, for both, I think.
No, but for what?
for
you
Facebook
can stream
and
on
YouTube?
anything.
Oh, you can stream on anything. It just gives you, so it gives you a
You can
stream key.
stream on Instagram also.
That's the one. You can't stream on Instagram, but there is a way to stream on Instagram, which a friend of mine had been exploring, and
called
he
Duck.
sent me this link.
Yellow
Duck,
Duck.
that's the one. Yeah,
Yellow Duck.
yeah, Yellow Duck. Yeah. So getting Duck, and you can stream on Instagram as well. So that's a possibility. If you're streaming on Instagram, probably get one of these for yourself because it's like super cheap. It's a splitter, like a headphone splitter. So what that allows you to do is it allows you to take your audio output. If you don't have separate microphone and headphone outputs on your laptop, if you just have like a combined port, just get one of those. It allows you to like take the output from your computer, let's say, or the output from any sort of device that you're using, to put into your phone. If you're just doing that directly, or otherwise you can use Duck. And you can get a mono output from your computer setup going into your phone, and then you can have like two parallel streams running, which is something I did a while ago for this like charity live stream thing that we were doing. Very useful and totally works. Totally works really well. If you're a drummer, you're going to need a lot more input, so you will have to invest a little bit more, just because, I mean, you started this, you have a drum kit. If you have an electronic drum kit, you're chill, because then it's just one output, and then you can just like, or a stereo output going into a simpler sound card. But if you're like a Shombit, if Shombit was here, he would be able to tell you. You need a bigger, chonky boy rack mount sort of audio interface, which gives you like at least 4 to 8 inputs, and you have to know how to mic your drum kit correctly.
Yeah.
One room mic at least, one for your kick drum, one for your snare drum. Hi-hats and cymbals will be captured by the room mics, and some stuff for your toms, depending on how many toms you have. So that many mics, that many outputs going into your sound card, that going into OBS, and then that's your output. Yeah, so audio interface. If you don't need more than just a simple acoustic setup, you don't need an audio interface. A USB microphone will serve you. If you want to have more inputs, like guitar plus vocals plus drums plus whatever, then you need an audio interface with cables like aux cables and XLR cables. And yeah, that's basically it. Sounds like, I think. And OBS.
Yeah.
If you have OBS, it just makes your work much better. Like you can make shit look cool.
For sure.
And lights. If you can get lights, that's really useful, because the truth about like most cameras is that most cameras aren't bad. This is my basic like laptop webcam. If you have a phone camera, that's even better than a basic laptop webcam. But if you the problem that happens is if you don't know how to light yourself. Like all of us, if you notice, have some sort of light on our faces at a slight angle, so that you can have some sense of definition of where our face is. But if it wasn't there, that kind of sucks. That kind of sucks even more, right? So I mean, it's moody, it's interesting, but this is better. So lights,
Definitely.
I guess that's basically it.
Skip, what kind of setup do you suggest?
For DJs, it's pretty much the same thingy. Only thing is you need sound cards which are compatible to your setup. So basically, for example, you can use something which is made for musicians, which is this guitar rig. It's similar to what he has. This converts converts the line signal to which is going into your phone. But say an iPhone does not have an in.
Box. Yeah.
So what I would do is I would take, say, a sound card like this. So I'll just show you if I can move my setup.
Yeah.
So this is my setup, which is basically my sampler. Just switch this on if I can. Yeah. So this is my.
Is a sampler? Sorry.
This is a by Final Call Victorize, and then these are the CD players, CD Jithan, and this is my battle mixer. Usually there is another mixer called the DJM 900, which is not here, and so two other. I have a lot of stuff actually. So anyways, like you can, I have the there's a lot of stuff. So basically, and out from the one of the outs, basically master out goes into this sound card. So
Oh, this is that Behringer one, right?
yeah.
So
Nice.
I have
Is that an
one.
RCA output?
That's an RCA in.
It has.
RCA. Yeah. RCA in. Sorry. Yeah.
I have the same.
Yeah.
This one. Yeah.
This one is an RCA in. I have RCA inputs and RCA outputs. So
And these are pretty affordable.
They're quite affordable. Yeah.
Yeah.
2,000, 3,000, 4,000, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever that.
Real
Nowadays.
quick, if you're using like instruments like electric guitars and microphones and things, that might not work because RCA, that you don't generally work in the RCA world with guitars and stuff.
No, so basically you have to understand my out is coming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So with the mixer, you have an RCA output, and therefore you can use the Behringer. And you
Yeah.
can
No,
do
mixer,
that,
I
which
have
is really cool.
the line. So I can put my all my stuff in the mixer, and the mixer's out basically goes into the sound card. So you need to have a summing, some kind of summing going. I have another.
Summing, yeah.
I have. Dude, okay, just one. I'll show you.
Yeah. Sure.
So I have this sound card which you can use. This is complete audio 6. I use this for
nice.
if you're doing that setup, and if I want to go really crazy and I have a lot of synths, then I use this. So everything comes in this.
Yeah.
So if you can see, I have tape. Everything is just routed into this. So for people really best, get a mixer like this. But this one has got what is the term called? Where every individual channel goes into mixer.
Discrete
digitally.
something.
So this is so every so in this every channel is an input is going into my mixer digitally. So
Right.
what is it called?
What?
Some I forgot. So these are special kind of mixers which has got every into the DAW.
Yeah.
Is the term discrete?
And vice versa also. So
right.
I can actually play off A and I can have my kicks come here, my synth here, and everything just
nice.
So I don't really have to have and also I can use it as different inputs that are coming in. But I personally, what I do is I give in all the inputs and outputs from the same thing, and then my master. So this is where it gets interesting. From here, I can end out from here. So this has an RCA out as well, or I can use the phono outs as well. So my phono to RCA converter will do the job. So yeah, I have it's different scenario for different person. So if you are a person who's using say a sound card or a controller, then you need then you would need that chotu. Where is that? Here. Then you would need then you'll need this. And if you are using elaborate setup where there is a lot of synths, because I've done a lot of streams where I've used my synths. So I have a lot of synths which I'm trying not to put because it becomes too messy. I have this sampler. I have 3 of these, and then I have.
Okay, so this is not advisable.
Yeah,
don't do shit. Too much shit. Yeah. So unless you want to be like all crazy and stuff like that, but if you're playing off normal, just small sound card or an iRig should do the job.
Yeah, we started with saying that please give suggestions for someone who has a small setup. but this is
yeah.
obviously expanded
If
to.
you if you need a small setup, whatever Skip just said, skip.
Don't skip it. No, I'm just giving you all three scenarios. So
No.
basically,
It's a
Yeah,
good
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
It's really important to know what you're shooting for. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
there's
yeah.
that saying, dress for the job you want. Like
Hmm.
if you want to have an elaborate setup, if you want to be like a live electronic setup, then you
Yeah,
need to know all the pieces of that, and you need to have all of those pieces. Like if you
agreed.
want
Yeah,
external
yeah.
synths, if your laptop
Correct.
is the brains of the operation, or if you have something like a Teenage Instruments
So
OP1 or
basically,
something like that.
understand the idea is to understand the summing is the most important thing. A lot of times, what you can do
Yeah.
is you can just get a really small mixer, and that will do the job. Basically, where
Yeah,
is everything coming into? You know, that's the idea.
Yeah.
If you're mixing elements, so if the guy there's a guy who's speaking, talking about that, you can actually there are track, but if let's me and Rivu wants to make a track, there is this very cool new thing that I have discovered. I have to switch on my Ableton to that,
oh,
but
cool. In fact, that is something I wanted to say. How can people collaborate
they can
online at
Yes.
collaborate real time, bro. Like it's dope. Uh,
real time?
it's
Huh?
Yeah.
real
Oh,
time, real time. Yes, let me just see. I forgot what it is. It's
Yeah,
called.
yeah. It's made by the same people who make Cakewalk. There's an app
I
for it as
guess
well. Wait. There's one called BandLab. It's made by the
no,
same
no,
people who make Cakewalk,
it's not
but
BandLab.
BandLab does that.
Yeah, maybe.
okay.
So
This one.
because for this one project I was using BandLab with some people,
Hmm.
to like get like because someone else had recorded some stuff. Dana had recorded some stuff like for this like one project,
So,
and yeah, go ahead.
it's satellite audio. So satellite audio is basically, I'll tell you what happens. So I have yeah, I cannot share my screen. So I think Nishit has to tell me, but I don't want to show it. This is
Yeah,
this is totally off track. This is for people who want to collaborate with other, and it's like right now we can. So this is a
Yeah.
brilliant piece of tech.
have
What
you
you have to
tried
do
it?
is, हाँ मैंने करा है यार. The guy that I've
Oh,
been making it only. So
oh, cool.
it's recording real time, and we are using cross platform, right? He's using Logic and I'm using Ableton, and
Oh shit,
it's
Oh,
basically
that's so
it's
cool.
just a channel that comes in one of your session. Okay, so it's just an extra
Huh.
channel that comes on a session, and you're just recording. You're putting your feed into that channel. Okay, and in that you'll have multiple channels that are coming in, and it's real time. Matlab, the moment Rivu has recorded his guitar piece,
Yeah.
and
That's so
I
cool.
see it on my session, and I can just drag and drop to any of my channel.
How does the MIDI
I
clock
wow.
situation work? How
So
does
there is
the
no MIDI clock as such. So I am playing. Let's say I am playing something at 120 BPM. You
Yeah,
will only be able to enter my
run at
session if
120?
you will be able to enter my session only if you change your BPM to 120. Also
120.
the sample rate. So if I'm playing
Oh, cool.
48.
So everything has to be the same. Got it.
Yeah. And the moment we are online, we guys can just collaborate. We can shoot ideas like this, bro. Like people have done
That's amazing.
recordings, vocals. It's too good. So people who want to
I
collaborate
had
and
no
all,
idea about this. In fact, in
That's
last year
actually very
also
cool.
we
Yeah.
were, yeah, we should try this and
this
do
is
like
too
a
good.
little
But this is only for
interesting
production. So this is
collab.
not real time. We are not people are not really
Yeah,
playing
yeah,
real time, but we are throwing off ideas real time. Like if
yeah, yeah.
I can just do a scratch session. I can do like a scratch solo and send it to him. He can send me whatever. So it's like cross. Then later
Yeah,
on,
but
and this is
that's
a high
interesting
quality
because
audio.
earlier also you could make a wave and send it, but you lose that
Yeah,
that
but this is
being in
real
that
time.
moment.
This is
Yeah,
real time.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there, if
Obviously,
you
your
are
internet
actually
has to be good.
collaborating, yeah,
Yeah.
so interesting, definitely
An- an-
interesting.
Another one, real quick, is if you want to collaborate on like on the same platform, there's a browser-based DAW, also phone app-based DAW called BandLab that's made by the same people who make Cakewalk. I think it's Sonar or something.
Hmm.
Okay,
So the deal is it's a full, well, it's not a full, it's like a mini DAW in a way, which has like all of the important like plugins in like a sort of relaxed version. Like if you want like an LA2A compressor, it's got its own version of an LA2A compressor. If you want an 1176 compressor, it's got its version of an 1176 compressor. If you're a guitar player who's just putting your guitar direct into the phone, it's got like pedals and amp simulation. It won't be very good. It won't be amazing, but it'll be just good
Decent.
enough so that you can like collab to
right.
a certain degree and like put an idea together and like you have something that you can work with.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the
No,
way
but
it works is there's like
this one you get proper audio, man. This one's like
That's pretty awesome. That's
Straight up.
no, I'm saying
Yeah.
like BandLab is a free app. It's a free browser. Like if you
This
have
is
a
also free.
browser, that's no. I'm saying, for instance, if you don't even have a DAW to begin with, for instance,
Acha, okay.
if you just play guitar and you're chill with that,
Yeah.
if you don't even have a DAW to begin with, just go to the browser. You've got BandLab. It's there. It's a full DAW.
Yeah.
It's like saying GarageBand on a website.
Right.
And it's even on the side. It's got like a note, like a chat window type thing where you can like chat and talk about stuff. You can be on a phone
Yeah.
call, whatever, Discord call, and every time someone else is taking control of the if you need to take control, you ask, and the person whoever has control of the session in that moment will give you control, and you're actually making real time changes to the actual session. However, when you don't have control, when the other person has control, you can make changes to demo them, which will not be saved into the original thing. And every single time somebody makes a change, instead of having one single save file, it has a branching set of like things. So if it began with this one seed, and then from here it progressed to this one
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
here, person A, let's say both of us are like doing like a collab. Skip made this change, therefore it branches off into this. Revo made this change, therefore it branches off into this, and that keeps branching forever. So you can go back to any point of those save files
Right.
to like do whatever you want.
It's like
Which
going back on
actually,
time.
yeah, you can basically go back in time and work in 5 dimensions, like 5D chess. But it's really, really like
Parallel
it's actually a very well, yeah. Parallel
just-
timelines. It's like
I was just watching a Star Trek
Avengers
episode where
Endgame.
they go to a different timeline.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's that. It's basically that. It's that or Avengers Endgame or
These
Loki. I
these
guess.
two tools seem really interesting. I think
Yeah.
a lot of
Satellite
people.
audio
Totally
and
off the
BandLab.
topic though. It's not related to the chat we are having today though.
No, I think it is because we are talking about online streaming.
Yeah. This
and
is definitely the future of
using
collaboration.
tools. Yeah, exactly.
In
You
fact, this can
collaborate on
be
something,
this
and
can
then
be
you
used
could.
for international collabs also.
Yeah,
Maybe we can do a live stream, which is an online collaboration.
that's
Yeah.
a
People
great
do that.
idea.
People do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that could
The
be
be
a
fun.
like live stream. So
Yeah.
tools are there. How we use it obviously can be super
yeah.
interesting. I think I'll take a few more comments here from people, and then I'd like to not make it a very long thing because we also convert this into a podcast and
Yeah.
put it up on Spotify and all. So then, without a visual thing, it can become very stretchy, and it's like three of us just hanging out, which we should do at some
Yeah.
point,
Yes.
and expand over all this.
This
But
is what he says to everybody that he does this with.
yeah, but yeah, I honestly I am pushing myself to be a little more social
Active.
and active, but yeah, it takes effort to
Oh,
be
for
honest.
sure. No.
Yeah.
Let's be very real about the effort of two things: decision
Taking
making
an effort.
and meeting people. Yeah.
Taking the
Yeah.
effort.
So
Yeah.
Amir has another question which I think is related to what we are speaking about. He says, "How does the live music scene look post the phase of COVID? What are your
So that's what we spoke about it already. It's
going to go back to?"
steering away from crypto. Acha, okay.
Ah.
So live music scene, no, these guys. I'm talking about. I'm here for DJ stuff. So for DJ, I'm pretty sure
As
it's gonna come back
Oh,
as
for sure.
strong as it was ever. You know,
Very
and
frankly,
the
it's
same.
been back. It's
Yeah.
been back for a while. Like just watching like various venues that shall not be named posting images of like cool such and such night that happened in the middle of a pandemic when people are dying. It's just scary. But it's
Yeah.
been back. The point is
It's
it's
been
been
back.
back already, and it'll definitely be back for
It will
like
be back.
yeah,
Absolutely.
for the DJ scene.
yeah. And it's gonna get better only once the whole vaccination thing is done and this whole Delta variant is dead. Then till something else comes up, we'll be pretty good to go. You know, I don't know. But having
Yeah.
said that, we have to be a little careful or have a sense of social responsibility. That's very, very important. It became big because we were not really, keeping our social
Agreed.
responsibilities in check. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, for example, being unknown is different. And once you know that it can affect you in a certain way, you should be a little more responsible.
You should
Yeah.
be careful if you know exactly.
So that is
Yeah.
actually a bit of a dilemma in my head as well. Like how now when we're going to open up, how are we going to open up?
See, it's
I mean,
gonna be
obviously we don't have an
gonna be
answer. We don't have an answer.
end of the day, protocols are the most important thing, and following protocol is even more important because a lot of times what happens is that in the heat of the moment, people don't follow protocols. For example, staying in the line. Like Goa, mein now everybody is like grocery shopping and all. They're standing in lines, like which is way, and everybody is waiting their turn. So that's how you should be. But there will be people who will be like, "Fuck this, man! Why am I staying in the line? Like I want to do this. I want to get there." Blah, 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 and they'll break the whole whatever protocol is, and that's where things get messier. As long as people are good to, and I think clubs have. I have actually played for clubs where there was enough social distancing happening.
Yeah.
So there are people who want to do that, and there are can do that as well. Like open venues definitely will be the first ones to exploit this idea. They'll be the best. Be able to. There are. I've seen a lot of venues in Calcutta, venues which are not doing well. It's going to be a great thing for them.
Yeah. Open air venues definitely seem to be like a thing.
And the bigger the better it is for them. They have to
Yeah.
get used to the initial idea of not making that much money. So once
Yeah.
in, then it's all good. So
I don't know how people get used to that.
they will, like for example, Bangalore had this weird scene where it will get shut by 11.
Yeah.
So people got
And
used to
so
it, man. They start
that's
partying.
true. I agree. Bangalore had an early evening
So-
kind of a scene.
And everybody will get used. We have to just work with the new normal that's going to
Yeah. So we have to all adapt basically. And
adapt. Yeah.
figure out
And it's gonna get better only.
new ways. Yeah.
Is the key. If we
Yeah. I feel like human beings in general have been problem solvers forever. The reason why we're here talking on like a screen with a microphone and a sound card and like this, the fact that people are even here, like the fact that any of this exists is because people at some point saw a problem and they solved it.
and they want to solve other problems. So that's
they
the
always
reason
want.
also.
Yeah. Like we've always wanted to, like as a race, I guess. Wow, it makes me sound like I'm like human beings the best. No, who knows? But no, genuinely, as a general rule, we've always solved problems, and we'll keep solving problems, I guess. And to, I guess, answer the question about how does the live music scene look post-COVID, TBD, because who knows? We are still in COVID. That sounds wrong, but we're still mid-COVID, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
to even get to the point where we can answer that question correctly.
I feel that next year would be the best.
Oh yeah,
I don't see it. I don't see it going as such till December, and post December, say January, February, March would be little halka, and mid next year we will be able to see what that's what I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's probably true. But to be like, just not to be kind of to be devil's advocate in this scenario. I remember the same conversation that we were having like around this time last year, when we were like, hopefully by next year this time.
No, but the second wave, we never knew that there'll be a second wave. So the whole second wave also was. I was also expecting but this whole idea of 2020 being COVID or not really, but whatever, we coping up with COVID was always there in my head. At least I've always told everyone that 2 years will take to 2 years at least will take to get things back to normal. And it's just that the normal will be very different from what the normal. Flying is not going to be the same. People are going to be more cautious. Same time, I see a lot of people around too. People who are not worried about anything that's happening. People are not wearing masks. So you never know.
Which is what people are just waiting for the government to announce that there's no lockdown anymore. I mean, it's just about that. I got a call from a guy who wants to organize a gig at Topcat. So I said, but we cannot. They're like, but after 15th everything will open. I said, wow, so simple.
So simple, yeah.
I said, no.
But the thing is, the idea of also this whole idea of I will not be, I'll be all fine after the vaccine. That's also there, na?
Yeah.
I think that the vaccine is.
That's not how it works, bro.
No.
Yeah, that's not how it works. So that's also something there. So yeah,
you could still be killing people even if it doesn't kill you, just by being out. Simple as that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I want to, I want to round this up in the way, like, I think, yeah, going forward, we will obviously, things will get better. Time, I don't know when. It's very hard to put a time to these things because there's so many ups and downs and so many things that keep coming from
Yeah, I
time
feel
to
that
time, which
people
we are not sure of. But
how yeah
we have to keep
it's,
finding ways to move forward, which is what we are talking about. Like, we cannot keep waiting for one day that the gigs will open and we'll go back to that. What are we doing while we are not being able to do
I
that?
the idea
It's
is
something we
to
need to work on.
the idea is that people are also our audience is also evolving.
Yeah,
You have to understand that as well. They are also getting used to this chota
absolutely, everyone.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, really
I
important.
mean, COVID, that's the thing,
yeah
it's kind of, it's affected everyone. So there's no, like,
yeah
now it's not just like a one section of a person's problem. It's everyone's dealing with it in their own way. So it's hard to say what it will be, but yeah, obviously we are hopeful, and I think continuously work on getting better at what we are doing, and find new ways to connect, new ways to perform. Personally, like I was saying, I think the hybrid situation is pretty exciting for me as such. I'm really actually actively looking to do that going forward. Whenever it's possible, and yeah, I mean, and we keep doing these conversations, so we are connected and we can
Yeah.
share knowledge, and stuff like that. Like Ali saying, Rivu should do one tutorial on OBS. Maybe.
Very realistically, it's
OBS is
simple. Just get
actually
it.
very OBS is very self-explanatory.
It's
It
very
is.
self-explanatory. Just get it and play
Uh,
around.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Even when I downloaded it first, I was like, oh, what's this? As soon as
Bro,
you
I
start
did
doing
I
it,
did stuff with OBS long time back, like even
Yeah,
before
it's been here for
and
a
it
very
was
long time.
it
Yeah.
has
very
been. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
So I've been using it for quite some time, and it's very simple. Only thing I don't use it is I feel that it's too heavy on my laptop, or
Sure.
it's a very CPU hungry software in general.
Hmm.
So also, so there are ways around it where you can reduce your output to
A lower bit rate.
frame
Yeah.
rate, yeah, bit rate,
Yeah.
and your source and your output both can be of a low bit rate, and you will be good to go. But we want to aim for the best, and then that's when the technology. The worst part about technology is, dude, you cannot get uh, best because it's always.
Yeah,
I
it's
got a
subjective, and it's always
I
there's.
got a bro like a 2 lakh rupees laptop. Within 3 months, my friend got an advanced laptop from the same fucking company. And this
Yeah,
happened
yeah, yeah,
within
yeah,
3 months. So I had like RTX 60 or something. Three
yeah,
months,
yeah.
mein RTX 20, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
And
And then after
my
that,
absolute favorite, yeah, the RTX conversation is damn interesting. Real quick, there's a bunch of people right before the 30 series like showed up had just bought the
yeah,
RTX 2080 Ti for like a shit ton of
yeah,
money, and then
yeah.
Nvidia shows up and says, "Hey, so we made the 30 series, and the 3060, which is the cheapest one, is as good as the 2080 for much cheaper." And everyone was like, "I can't resell
I
this
did,
2080 Ti anymore.
yeah.
What do I do?" Yeah.
These are bad, by the way. If people don't
But
know
yeah,
what
by the
you're
way,
talking
in
about.
case,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
So yeah,
gamers
man.
were looking at you. Sorry.
No, but yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. So
Yeah.
a lot of people also tend to buy new gear. What I would advise is don't buy new gear. See what
Just
works for
chill.
you and stick to that. Yeah, just chill. If you
or
can buy,
or
it's
just
great.
find
But yeah,
or you
Yeah.
find companies like Pioneer who can endorse you, like Skip.
yeah. But that comes with a lot of hard work. Yeah, they that
Just
Yeah.
kidding, of
Pioneer
course.
came. Pioneer came after Dana Native Instrument. Everything went, and then Pioneer came. So
Right, of course,
yeah,
of course.
I'm
No
but
waiting
doubt.
for
it's
the
good.
day that somebody's gonna say. I'm waiting for the day that somebody's gonna say, "Hey, you can strings. You can have strings." I'm like, yes, I don't need to buy strings anymore. Anyway, but that's gonna, yeah, it's long road ahead. Lots of work to do.
For me, it's the needles. Like I can get needles if I want, so that's good.
Oh yeah, nice.
Cool. So I
'Cause I
think
keep
on
breaking.
that note, uh, I had a great time. I think I learned so many things from both of you, and I
Yeah.
hope people
Don't
who are watching it.
use complicated mixers, the big mixers. Keep your setup as minimal as possible. No
Just chill.
HDMI to.
it's okay. Just like quick little wrap up.
Yes,
Just chill.
absolutely.
Quick, just chill.
Yeah.
Do some research. Go on some forums. Do some reading. Maybe you already have all the shit you need. Very
Yeah,
frankly.
yeah. Maybe you
Most
already
often you
have.
probably already have it. It might just be one piece of gear that's missing.
So okay, one more thing
Uh,
I wanna add on for all the DJs. You can put it out later on as a small. There are softwares like Soundflower, which is basically internal routing for the laptops itself. So you can actually use them. These are virtual cables, so you
Right.
can use them for streaming easily. A lot of people don't know
uh,
that as well.
Voice meter
Uh,
makes a an open source thing as well. Voice meter banana is the one I use sometimes. Very
uh,
cool. Similar like internal routing, so that your audio interface and your laptop's internal sound card plus anything else that you might attach together, they'll all like behave
they
together
start
very well.
talking basically.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
start talking. Yeah,
So
yeah.
basically, we need mediator, and usually times that mediator is a hardware. But nowadays we have apps that are basic software solutions. Like there are cases where you will not need this sound card at all. You just Soundflower, which is I think a free app, if I'm not wrong, and crowd that, and you're good to go.
Right. There you
So
go.
yeah, just a quick tip.
So yeah, you could do some virtual uh, connections with these things, right? As in,
Yes,
I
yes,
think
correct.
Yeah.
you don't need to. I mean, it's always good to have a little hardware, but if you can't to start with, you can start with something like this.
Yeah.
Most often you already
The
have most of the stuff.
Have something. Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
the
for
biggest
sure.
problem guys is I feel uh,
Latency
the
potentially.
yeah. So when you're speaking, it'll come late. But videos, it'll, if you're mixed, at least in my case, it'll sound weird and it's really fast. So you'll feel like you're doing something wrong. But for people who are mixing slowly and all, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. So yeah, on that note, we'll be doing we're planning to do this every Sunday, where we're speaking about different things around music.
One
Uh,
last thing. Sorry,
Please,
real
no,
quick.
no, no.
Last thing. Get
Yes,
yourself a good chair. Invest in a good chair because you're going to be sitting
Yeah,
in front of a
please.
computer a lot if you're doing stuff. Get yourself a comfortable chair.
right.
Like that plastic chair you're sitting on right now while watching this is not doing you any good. Your back is going for a toss. It's a good
Lumbar
investment.
support.
Lumbar support. Lumbar
Most
support
valuable.
is one of the most valuable investments you're going to
It's
make.
the
So just get
biggest
yourself.
support in life.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah, agree. Yeah.
Super. So yes, so we will be converting them into audio formats for people who want to listen, and I'm
You have to
really,
chop a lot of
really
stuff, bro.
I have to do good
Chop a
chop.
lot
I'm
of
not chopping
Lots of
anything.
shopping.
We just put it straight up.
stuff.
So yeah, but thank you to both of
Cheers,
you
man.
for
Thanks a lot.
coming on
Cheers.
board
Thanks so
and
much for having us.
yeah,
It was
sharing
awesome.
all this. I think it was great fun. I think
Yeah.
we did speak about a lot of positives and the difficulties and the pain points and the exciting things, all of it.
I don't did
Yeah,
we? I think we have to speak more.
I think so. Of course, I mean, like it can be an endless conversation. I mean, not endless, but it
Yeah.
can be a very long conversation.
Long one, yeah.
But yeah, let's keep it little tight for this one.
Okay.
Okay, then. On that
Yes,
note,
man.
thank you so
Nice.
much. Cheers. I'll see you guys soon, whether online or offline, wherever.
Everybody
And
throw up your shout outs for your online social media, whatever things.
yes,
Skip, go.
please do that. Yeah.
Oh, my
Skip
DJ AYSKI and music,
on
if
which
I'm
is
not wrong. DJ
so
Skip
which
is
is
nice.
the platform which you would want people to connect with?
Instagram is fine. I'm okay
Instagram.
with anything actually. Instagram is decent.
Okay.
DJ AYSKIP. Yeah. I was actually thinking of. I had two thoughts of like shutting my Instagram totally and starting off something new. But then I was like, okay, I don't know. I'm still
Don't do
thinking
that.
about it.
Rivu, what are your
Yeah.
places to connect to?
So on Instagram, it's Rivu Person, RIVUPERSON. And on YouTube, it's Rivu Music. But I haven't been doing much on YouTube. Instagram is the place, Rivu Person. And
Rivu,
Rivu
yeah.
Person.
So yeah,
That's it.
do connect with both of them in case you have any specific questions, and also if you guys have ideas on these kind of sessions and discussions topics, please drop us a comment or send me a message wherever, Instagram, Facebook, on our pages, wherever you can find us, and let's just keep this conversation going.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
On that note, yeah, see you guys, and yeah, let's hope we can do some killer gigs and collaborations
Soon.
soon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's hope so, man.
yes, yes,
Chalo.
for sure.
Awesome.
Cheers, peace,
Cheers. Bye,
Cheers.
guys.
bye.
Thanks so much.